a southern country in the southwest of Pacific Ocean, a country of diverse natural beauty. Known as God's own country in the paradise of the Pacific. This is New Zealand. The home of Fiordland National Park, Bay Island, Crest Town, Lake Taupo, and of course, a home for almost 5 million New Zealanders or Kiwis. With its diversity, New Zealand is divided into 3 regions. North Island, South Islands, and the offshore islands. Aside from its diverse natural beauty, New Zealand has diverse culture. It is a former British colony and has a population of mostly European descent and an indigenous minority called Maori. But today, it has a fast-growing Asian minority, Polynesians, Americans, and Africans. According to a 2018 research, there are over 3 million immigrants in New Zealand, and the Philippines is one of its top 5 immigrants, with over 29 million Filipinos. One of them is John Robert Ruiz, a 28-year-old engineer, and he has been living in Auckland, New Zealand for 6 years. I had the opportunity to have a phone call interview with him about his new life in New Zealand as a Filipino.
So I was really happy when I learned that I guess back when I was young, I really want to move out of the country. And I don't see any hole in the Philippines anymore. Definitely. New Zealand Kiwi accent is one of the hardest accents to understand. Even Americans struggle with it. So I still have a struggle with their accent. But I improved my English. I've improved my listening skills by talking to a lot of people, different races. Yeah, and then speak English at home, and then speak Filipino at home. So, honestly, you don't really need to have a topic or something. Just talk to the person. Hey, how are you? How are you, mate? How's it going? Or if you want to really, if you see them like watching games, watching movies, yeah, just ask them what the movie is like. So New Zealand is a Christian country. Most people here are Christian, Catholic, but they don't really practice it. There are some religion, yeah, discriminated that is Muslim. Definitely people here don't want them to wear burqa, driving us, you know. So no, really, it's almost the same. Like they like Filipino, um, especially Islander. They want to conversate with you if you're Filipino. Talk about how you teach me how you say this and stuff. That was really fun. Yes. You have to learn you have to learn your paper. You can't graduate without learning your paper. Here in New Zealand, everything is essay. Explain why you make that design. Explain. You can't just like make a design. You can explain it. Um, so so here in New Zealand, they don't really care about your gender. So you can do the job. You're all good. I was like, there's you can outdoors fight to see a pretty lady working as a construction worker, going into the ducting, getting dirty, you know, just kind of example. In the Philippines, it's we still have a gender thing where you can't apply because you're a boy and this kind of feel you can't apply if you're girl. That's the difference. Yeah, actually, because here in New Zealand, they don't really care if you have what your degree. Go and graduate in a good university. They care about experience. You got experience, you're gonna get the job. That's the thing. The big difference in New Zealand and the Philippines is that New Zealand follow the rules, respect their country, and love their country. Philippines, they don't follow the rules. Some people didn't care to respect their country, and I don't think people love. They probably say they love it, but they don't really.
Of course, marami actually. Because syempre, locals, di ba? Arabic, mostly Arabic. French is also a language na use nila. So when it comes to words that they are using in their daily lives, medyo nagkakaroon ng language barrier, especially sa conversation when they're trying to tell something and hindi nila alam yung direct translation in the English language. So medyo tough, pero sa gestures sa mga hand motions nila sa face, masasabi mo naman parang makukuha ka ng context clues kung ano yung word na yun. Filipinos are very friendly, very cheerful, very accommodating, hospitable with the words, the actions that we're doing. Compared to Middle Eastern people, they are more direct in saying their point. So when it comes to religion, it's very open, because we celebrate me as a Christian, we celebrate the Muslim holidays, and the government in the United Arab Emirates, they do acknowledge the Christian calendar. So when it comes to the social relation with other people, with Middle Eastern people or with Muslim people, I think it's not really a factor that hinders you to have a normal interaction with them, with a normal conversation, because at the end of the day, you're both human beings. You both serve and believe in a God. So I think it's not really a huge factor that will become a barrier between you two. To be honest, I think education there is a bit easier, because I've started in a international school, and I've stayed in an international school in a British with a British curriculum. So in terms of their education, in terms of their curriculum, I get to choose my own subjects. I get to understand different cultures. We study about the world. We do have major subjects like English, but in terms of English, it's very different because we study literature instead of English as a subject, instead of oral communication, or like grammars and sentences and paragraphs. We don't really study those. That's why communication there is very different. Each nationality has their accents, has a way in delivering the message that they want to say. But in terms of other things, I guess it's kind of the same when it comes to mathematics and other major subjects. The only different thing is that I have to study another language, which is French and Arabic. I think, yeah, it's present in the Middle East, especially when it comes to the male and the female, because males aren't allowed to be with females, and females aren't allowed to be with males. I mean, stay in one place. I mean, not really that strict, but for example, like if females are sitting in a table, I mean, there should be some sort of distance between a male and a female. In Dubai, in United Arab Emirates, women are very respected. They give them the space that they have. You respect their space, their clothing, their religion, their beliefs. Yeah, I think there's a huge difference between the two societies. I think the first difference, of course, is the land development, the country's development. UAE is just 45 years old, but then the United Arab Emirates is 45 years old since it's been united, and the growth of the country is really fast. It's one of the richest country in the world. In terms of technology, in terms of development, it's really state of the art, and I think that Philippines should learn some of the government, or how the government does those things. When it comes to society, when it comes to safety, there's a really huge difference. Crime rate in the UAE is almost 0%. The highest it has been was 1 or 3%, as I remembered. There's no news regarding rape, regarding extrajudicial killings. Robbery is a very rare. It's very rare, and theft is very rare. Although there are some cases, but mostly if you leave your phone out in the open, you forget about it, and then you remember it the next day when you go back for it. It's still there. It's probably gonna be still there, or someone's gonna pick it up, try to contact you. A taxi would give it to the transport authority, you're gonna claim it in their office. So that's how it works there. When it comes to transportation, buses they have a system. The road transport has a system. There are schedules for your buses. When it comes to roads, it follows the standard size of the road. When it comes to culture, when it comes to the people are, I guess, nicer in a way. They are more friendly, they are more approachable, they're easy to get along with. When it comes to the weather, I guess Philippines is better. But then overall, I still choose the society here, because we're very hospitable, and that even though we have differences, when we or people are in the same wavelength, it's really a fun and enjoyable experience. And the relationship, the bond that you have is really irreplaceable. So ayun.